Joshua by my side. Grandpa's story never dies, rocking through time. Pearl Harbor Day, he answered the call. Navy blue uniform standing tall. 8 kids later, here I stand, carry his courage in my hand. Obama walks where he once roamed, Hall of Fame name carved in stone. Grandpa's legacy shining bright in this studio tonight. Rocking out with my tribe, love like a fire, wild and alive, adventure, soul, confident stride, joyful heart, no need to hide. Liberated now, the past takes flight. Nostalgic dreams in the spotlight. Joshua's arms hold our crazy crew. 8 voices singing, never blue. Grandpa's medals in a wooden box. His spirit here when the music rocks. Same school, same halls, different days. His name outshines in so many ways. I'm singing loud for the ones before, for the love that's knocking at my door. Rocking out with my tribe, love like a fire, wild and alive, adventurous soul, confident stride, joyful heart, no need to hide. Liberated now, the past takes flight. Nostalgic dreams in the spotlight. Studio lights on me so bright. Grandpa smile in the crowd tonight. 8 little hands clapping along. Joshua's love keeps me strong, from Navy ships to rock and roll. His courage lives in my very own. No limits now, I'm breaking free. This is my song, this is me. Rocking out with my tribe, love like a fire, wild and alive, adventurous soul, confident stride, joyful heart, no need to hide. Liberated now, the past takes flight. Nostalgic dreams in the spotlight. 8 little stars in my sky, Joshua by my side. Grandpa's story never dies, rocking through time.
Hello, friends. How is everyone today?
Forgot to unmute my mic.
Yeah, I do that a lot. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning, Greg. Okay, so, well, so good news. I don't know if you saw, but pretty much everything from the 209 order with Kelsey and Justin has been done away with. And from what
I was watching Just to Serve.
Yeah, and from what Michael Bryan said, visitation is in the works. So
Yay.
very good news for Kelsey today. Yeah, so that's that update. Yesterday was wild. That hearing was insane. The TV Meredith hearing.
Yeah, that was.
And then,
hey, Nefarious. Good morning,
Nefarious.
afternoon.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever, if any you are. So,
yes. And then hearing Aiden talk about it, I don't know if you got to see his Bus Stop Live yet, but he...
No, I overslept this morning.
Yeah, my heart broke for him because he was like, I didn't want this to be public. Like, I didn't want everybody to have to hear that. Like, and I don't think it makes him look weak or anything. Like,
I don't think it does. In my opinion,
yeah,
he will be stronger.
mm-hmm.
On the other end once he gets to the other side of all of this. But yeah, I definitely need to go and listen to the Bus Stop Live. I just haven't had a chance yet today. But I mean, he just wants this to be over.
Yeah, and no show tonight. Also, he'll be doing it tomorrow because the papers are due tomorrow, like their closings.
Right.
So he wants to wait until all that is passed in. Hi, Zach.
Aww.
I am. Oh my gosh. Every time. Yeah. It was kind of heartbreaking this morning. But just an update on our schedule, like what we're gonna be covering. Tomorrow I'm taking the day off. Maelynn is doing her hi aloha. I have a doctor's appointment and I'm getting stabbed in the back tomorrow. So Maelynn's gonna do a story that she's been planning on sharing, and then
I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I'm excited for you. Maybe Thursday we'll go over some pre-trial stuff for Lori's first Arizona trial, and then Monday for sure we will start. Yeah. Because Fridays the kids are home, and you know how it is when the kids, or maybe we can do Friday night, depending on, other things. Hey, hippie chick.
No, I haven't, Zach. I need to do that. And then, hey, hippie chick.
Let's talk
loving
dirty
what? Let's talk dirty in Hawaiian. Yeah, I'm actually going to write that one down so I do not forget. Because the biggest lie I tell myself is I don't need to write that down. I won't forget. I have forgotten more stuff than I've forgotten. I forgot.
Yeah, so Fridays are kind of hard for me to go live during the day because my kids are home. Y'all have heard me when my kids are home. Y'all heard me yesterday when my daughter was home. The kids don't count as kids.
Let's see here. Which one are you in? Angie? We're streaming in both. Okay, you're in Angie's. That's why we're streaming in both.
Yeah, we're streaming on both. So
your YouTube is not messed up. I promise you that. I promise you. It's just that we are streaming on both her channel and my channel. So
yeah. We have found, since we are both pretty new channels, that it helps us get the watch hours. So it's okay. It's okay. We can both see you, so you're good.
Yes.
So
you totally good. Let's see here. Look this up. I'm writing down everything I need to watch this evening.
Yeah.
I think we're all going crazy, but you're not going that crazy.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. So if I can get it downloaded, it's on my other channel, but I have a fun little video that here before we get to today's programming, I can show you guys where I'm from.
Yeah.
I don't
Wonderful.
know if I will get copyrighted though. So hang on. Because it has music in it. So give me 1 second.
Well, while you do that, so tomorrow I'll be going live around 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to be going down south. The story starts in Georgia and ends in a small town in South Carolina called Goose Creek, literally separated by railroad tracks. I'm very excited to be covering this story. It's my hometown. I don't live there anymore, but I still have family and friends there. I go there, try to go there at least every other year. We're going this summer. So I'm really, really excited for the video tomorrow. We're going to talk about a disgraced police chief, more corruption, and chaos.
So I found it. I think I'm just gonna mute it.
Cool, Greg. It's going to be the end of July when I go to South Carolina.
Nice. I have family in Asheville, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I found it. I think I'm just going to, I'm going to speed it up just a smidge, but I think I'm just going to mute it because I don't want to risk. I don't want to risk the copyright for both of our channels.
I appreciate that.
So, because it does have music in it, but to give a little backstory on this video, I made this video because I had friends, their son had neuroblastoma and he passed away. I think it might be almost 10 years ago because he was the same age as my oldest son. So he would have been, or he would be 19 this year, and he was 10, I believe, or almost 10. So one of his things that he wanted to do was to go to Hawaii. And because of, by that point, he was on an IV all the time and all of that. So he couldn't go, he couldn't get on a plane. And so I made them this little video tour of my hometown. And you guys can see how rainy it is and like, but there is so on ship days, there's this company, at least back when I was home, there's this company called Hoppa On Hoppa Off Tours. And because they stop a lot of places, so it's literally you get on and you get off the bus or the trolley, whichever one you're on. And I talked to the owner and he allowed me to take the tour and videotape it so that I could send it to Elijah and his family. So, yeah.
Cool. You're going to take us on a tour for Elijah.
Yes.
That's so sweet. I'm so happy you were able to do this.
Yeah, so this is there's some words. So this is Bayfront. This is like downtown Hilo. Looking out at the water. You can't see it, but there's an ocean right there. Oh, there you can kind of see it. But I was on the other side of the bus, so we won't really see the ocean, at least at this point. And it's a very bouncy bus, so. But this is downtown Hilo. Let's see if I remember any of the spiel that I used to have to tell. So there is a tsunami museum in downtown Hilo. The Big Island was hit by 2 major tsunamis, one in 1941 and one in 1960. So this is downtown Hilo. Downtown Hilo survived both tsunamis. So these are all very original buildings, repaired over time, obviously. Oh, thank you. Oh, wait, let's go back just a little bit. So
Are
I
you
used to
hearing
work.
Are you hearing my Discord beep?
No.
Okay, good.
So this right here, I don't know if you can see my cursor on the screen, but this is the bus station. I used to work there. I volunteered there. And then this is the bandstand in Hilo. There's a stage up here, and they hold like we've been to political rallies and stuff, like the Democratic rally and whatnot. We used to go to that a lot because my mom's classmate was on the county council. Actually, 2 of her classmates. So I apologize for all the bumping or all the bouncing. So these are all soccer fields. This is all like, and when it rains really hard, like this parking lot right here floods every time. If it's a really bad rain, all of this floods. Like, it's bad.
And soccer is huge in Hawaii.
Oh yeah, yeah, it is.
It is. So
to the point, mind you, and I've told Crazy Brazilian about this too, but to the point that where I grew up, the neighborhood that I grew up in, there's a Catholic school, a very small Catholic school, not far from where I grew up, and the coach was Portuguese and literally recruited and like exchange students from Brazil to come play soccer. That's a monkey pod tree right there.
do you get any of the did you get
what?
The trees that the roots grow from the branches? Did you get any
The
of
banyan
those?
trees?
Yeah, banyan, yeah.
Yeah, there are banyan trees in this video. Yeah.
Guys,
So
wait till you see that. That is like the coolest tree ever.
Yeah. So this is the statue of King Kamehameha the Great. He was the first monarch in Hawaii. Just going back to my videos about, if you haven't seen them, sorry, cheap promotion. Sorry, Maelynn. But if you haven't seen them yet, I did 2 videos watching a documentary about the overthrow of the Hawaiian Kingdom and how Hawaii actually became a state. So Queen Liliuokalani was the very last monarch. King Kamehameha the Great was the very first. And he's from the Big Island. So go ahead.
I'm going to drop the link to your first one in the chats.
And they have
check out both. I was on the second one, but Angie did the first one by herself, and it's really good. She did an excellent job. Check them out. Make sure you give her a like and a love.
Yeah, so they have just talking about the different districts of the of Hilo itself. There's a lot of history. Like, I need to do some research and see if I can find like a video about Hilo itself and everything.
I haven't. No, I actually have never been there. Never heard of it. Let's see. I'm writing that one down. That's going on a bucket list.
Okay, so I'll wait till you
Oh no, you go ahead, keep going. I'm
Okay.
good. I'm just writing.
So this area right here was originally a fishing village, a Japanese fishing village. Now, Maelynn, you've probably seen like the sugar cane along the road on Oahu, Oahu rather, where the plantations used to be. Hawaii, a lot of the like foreign people, other outside of or
Hallies, call us what we are. You better call us
hey,
what
I'm
we
one.
are.
Hey, I'm one too. Okay, technically.
Call us what we are. We're a bunch of Hallies.
So a lot of the immigrants, that's what I was looking for, that were brought in during the early times in Hawaii were to work the plantations. So you had Portuguese, Japanese, Filipino, Chinese immigrants all brought in. And this village, I believe, was wiped out during I think it was the 1960 tsunami, because it was during the night and there were no sirens at the time. Or it might have been damaged by the first and wiped out by the second. So these are pictures of the tsunamis and the aftermath. So that one's in 1946. So this one was on April Fool's Day, ironically. The reason why you see people running from the water's edge is because the water went out and everybody went for the fish. Kind of dumb, I know, but it is what it is.
People gotta eat.
Yep. And
So
then
if it
this
comes
one
out of
was
Pearl Harbor, don't eat that.
Right. Yes. And then this one was in 1960. So there were two really bad ones. Okay. Speaking of a banyan tree, there you go. Pause. Very blurry. So this is on Banyan Drive. I wish I had gotten more of it.
Isn't that cool, guys?
I might have gotten more.
The so the roots don't grow in the ground; they grow on the branches.
So this is Coconut Island right here. It's a man-made island, or added to island, I should say. And this there's a bridge that goes from the main part to where the parking lot is over to Coconut Island, and the Hawaiian name for that is Moku'ola. And a month or two ago, they were bringing over an excavator to the island to do like just regular maintenance, and the bridge collapsed. So, needless to say, it's not accessible right now, at least not by foot. So this is, I don't know if we actually see what's on the other side of this, but I think I rode twice, so I haven't watched this in so long. I'm gonna speed it up just a little bit since I'm talking through it. Okay. So that's Hilo. Oh, that's the other side of Hilo Bay. So this is, actually have a diamond painting of this, and it was a very cloudy day, so you can't see the mountain at all, but normally you can see the mountain right here.
You can kind of see an outline.
Yeah, but normally you can see Mauna Kea. Yeah, it's just just clouds that day.
Yeah.
Oh, so this is down by the like regular beaches. On the east side of the island, there are no sandy beaches other than Bayfront, which is a black sand beach.
And that's because of the lava.
Yeah, because of the way the lava flowed from Mauna Kea and Mauna Loa. So, and I forget, was it on this show? I was on a oh no, it was in voice chat. So on the Big Island, there are, I'm probably saying this wrong, but there are at least 5 different climates on the Big Island. So in one day, you can go from the beach to like snow, to desert, and to rainforest, all in one day. If you really wanted to. It's a very long day, but yeah, so
but it's possible.
Yeah, and on the Big Island is also Panaeva Zoo, which is the only rainforest zoo in the country. So this is the post office in Hilo. It's also so it used to be like a federal courthouse as well. I don't think there's any courtrooms in there anymore, but this is the post office. And then this is that's my high school. And so the first time I ever showed pictures of my high school to a friend of mine, she goes, "They make you walk through the snow?" I'm like, "No, dear. No. The rain? Yes. Snow? No."
No, no. No, no, no. No, no. No, no, no.
So it's actually a pretty big campus because it's so spread out. So this is the old hospital. It's now last time I was there, it was a homeless shelter. They turned it into a homeless shelter. It used to be a adult daycare center. And then we have Rainbow Falls, and the reason why it's called Rainbow Falls is on a sunny day, when the sun hits it just right, you can actually see rainbows. Yeah. It's kind of depending on what side of the island you're on, it's kind of like that too. Because on the more towards the middle of the island where it's cooler, in a town called Kamuela, it'll go from rainy to sunny and then foggy.
Mm.
So I said, this is a very rainy day. So let me see.
That waterfall is just so pretty, though.
Right? So this is back in downtown. Give you a little bit more of a close-up of the buildings.
Mm-hmm.
And some of these buildings, I don't have them on here, but there was a big fire that took out a bunch of buildings recently, which really made me sad. And then this is our little farmer's market in Hilo right here. They've been talking about for years on making permanent structures, but they've never done it.
It's kind of nostalgic now.
Oh,
the way it is.
There's another banyan tree for you. I forgot about that.
They're just so freaking cool, though. I mean, look, you can see the roots. They're not yet in the ground yet. I mean, you've got roots that are in the grounds, but then you've got the ones coming down from the branches. It's just, that's just the, I don't know why I love those trees.
Yeah, so there's the front of the bandstand. And then, oh, I didn't even show the bus station. Okay. I haven't watched this in a while, so I don't even know what I showed. So I don't know if you remember, like, quite a few years ago now, there was that explosion by and a lava bomb basically landed on a tour boat. Do you remember that? Did you ever hear about that?
No.
Okay, well, my boyfriend at the time was working for the company and had to repair said hole in the boat. These are the Japanese
Damn.
gardens. Unfortunately, I don't have a very good video of them. Yeah, you can see Hilo Bay a bit better. It's cleared up a little bit. Oh, yes. So, I don't know if I show it any better. Yeah, there we go. So this is Ken's House with Pancakes. I highly recommend it. If you ever go to Hilo, if you ever go to the Big Island, go to Ken's. Ken's is owned by the Maivia family, which is the Rock, Dwayne Johnson's mother's side of the family. His cousin owns this restaurant. Yeah. Let's see, where's this? Okay, this is by the pier. I didn't even show the pier. So this is going back down towards the beaches. As you can see, it's very in-depth. So that's the gas company right there. We had to go. I remember going there as a kid, like to pay the gas bill with my mom. Let's see. Oh, here we go. So this is a video I added in later. We went to the beach and just happened that a sea turtle or two popped up. It's like right there. Oh, you see the shell right there.
Mm-hmm.
And they are very endangered. So if you're ever in Hawaii and you come upon a green sea turtle, do not touch it. Just let it be.
Yep.
You could get fined buku bucks.
Just by accidentally brushing up against it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then let's see. Oh, this is at a, yeah. So this is at a, don't even ask me to pronounce it because I don't remember what it's called. But they have this big indoor fish tank. My son loved going there. But it talks about all the reefs in Hawaii. Or there's a off of archipelago, which is like the whole state. Like, because there's so much more to Hawaii than the 8 islands. So this is, now keep in mind, this is in 2011. A lot has changed with the volcano. This is Thurston Lava Tube. That's a Lehua. You look really closely right there. You can see snow. This is on the west side. This is a historical church, and then across the street from it is Hulihe'e Palace, which was like a vacation home for the royals. There used to be a Bubba Gumps in Kailua Kona.
There's
That's a
one in
Catholic church.
Charleston. I've been a couple of times, but you know what? I'll be honest. I've not been impressed with Bubba Gumps, at least the one in Charleston.
I never went, and they got really damaged during one of the tsunamis. It was smaller than the ones that hit Hilo, but yeah. See, okay, let me back up just a smidge. So that's my son. He was like 3 at the time. So even in Kona, you can see there is sand, but the really sandy beaches on the Big Island are like Hapuna Beach and Mauna Kea Beach, which is both are connected to hotels, but both are public beaches. This is on Ali'i Drive. It's like one of my favorite places in Kona. And like this part of Kona is very dry, like just outside of Kona, if you're heading back towards like north-ish, but on the lower road, it's lava fields. So it's very dry. And if you're on the upper road, it is very wet and moist, and the upper road is on the slope of a technically active volcano. It has not erupted in over 100 years, but there's evidence that the last time it went off, it was a pyroclastic flow like Mount St. Helens, and it took half an hour from summit to ocean for the flow to get there. And there are so many houses up there that they would all be screwed. Oh, yeah, the dolphins. So this is at the Hilton Waikoloa. They have a dolphin quest program, so you can pay to swim with dolphins. And we loved going there. When I was a kid, we would go there as much as we could and play tourist and go see the dolphins and all that. This is also at the Hilton. You can walk through a waterfall. There we go. This is where, so when Wheel of Fortune is on the Big Island, this is where it takes place. When it's on Oahu, it's at the Hilton Hawaiian Village in Waikiki. And then these are just some ocean shots. Oh. And then hula dancers. I don't have any video of it, but that's actually the halal I used to dance for. But yeah, that's it. That's the... Oh, it's still playing for me. My bad. Okay. So that took longer than I wanted it to, but...
It happens.
So shall we get on to the Lori Vallow stuff? Or Vallows-Daybell technically now?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna start playing it, and then I need to go stretch for a bit because my back is killing me.
Okay. Nope, you're good. While you're playing it, I'm going to actually go off camera and eat a little bite of food.
Okay. So, for background information, yeah, no problem. Has anybody, okay, first question probably be, did anybody not watch, or does anybody not know about Lori Vallows-Daybell, like that case out of Idaho?
I know
/
cursory.
Arizona.
I know cursory stuff about it. That's it.
So, Lori Vallow, so now Daybell, was a mom to 2 kids, Tylee Ryan, JJ Vallow. They moved
How
up to
many
Idaho.
kids? How many kids
She
total
only
does she
has
have?
3. Tylee.
Okay.
Okay, so you are familiar with it. I'm curious. So 3
Cool.
total. So she has.
Okay. And how many kids did he have?
Chad and Tammy have 5, I think.
And just her kids, but none of his.
Yeah. Well, his kids are all grown. His kids are all grown and out of the house. So
was Colby grown and out of the house too?
yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay.
So she only had Tylee and JJ.
Okay.
So in Chad's trial was in 2024. So 2023, Lori was convicted of unaliving her 2 children and conspiracy for her now husband's first wife. But first we're kind of going timeline of events as far as trials that we're going to cover for her. The first one we're going to cover is Charles's. So Charles Vallow was her 4th husband, and he and Lori adopted JJ together.
Now, were they divorced?
Yes, they were divorced. No. They never got divorced because Alex unalived him.
Who's her brother?
Her brother, yes.
Okay.
And then
who's also unalived, but he was medical?
Yes. Supposedly. Allegedly. Believe that if you dare.
That's what's on the paper.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Charles was.
We all know what's on the paperwork isn't always
right. So Charles was unalived in June of 2019.
Okay.
Yeah, June of 2019.
And that's the husband.
Yeah, that's her 4th husband. She then moved up to Idaho at the end of August 2019. Tylee was last seen September 9th of 2019. JJ was last seen September 22nd of 2019. So it's boom, 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 basically. So Charles, Tylee, JJ, and then Brandon Boudreaux, who was the husband of Lori's niece, was shot at by Alex Cox in early October, I think, right before. Yes, it was very sus. Right before, but who cares about Alex? Amen.
Right. Well, he did the spouses, right? Or just
we don't actually. So Alex unalived Charles, said it was self-defense. Okay. Alex is believed to have unalived both Tylee and JJ. We don't know. That was never discovered. Confirmed. And then as we know that Alex is the one that shot at Brandon because it was Tylee's.
Okay.
Because it was Tylee's Jeep that Alex drove down to Arizona.
Okay.
And then nobody actually knows who unalived Tammy. But obviously
that's the wife.
The wife of Chad, yes.
Okay.
Chad's first wife. So it is complicated, and yeah. And it is a hard case. So Lori only has one child left alive, and that is Colby Ryan. And if you guys do not follow Colby Ryan, go over to his channel. It's Colby J. Ryan. Follow him. He
freaking had that up too. Oh, I know. I put it in my description.
Okay. Yeah. And yeah, go subscribe to his channel. He is trying to, move on with his life as much as you can after losing your entire family.
Right, I think.
And then so now we are going to, because we're going to watch Charles's case first. Oh, and also another player in this whole thing is Nate Eaton of East Idaho News.
But he's a reporter. That's his whole role. Is he's the reporter. He's the one who. I hate my camera. All right. So he's like Turtle Boy.
Kinda. He just doesn't cuss at all. But
he didn't get charged with witness intimidation.
Yeah. So for
well, yeah, I mean,
yeah. Nate was there from basically day one. He got a tip that Chad and Lori were down in Hawaii. When you first saw footage of Chad and Lori in Hawaii, there's that guy who sticks the microphone in her face and says, "Lori, where are your kids? People are praying for you." And she said, "That's great." That's Nate Eaton. So he was literally there from the jump. Didn't know about, Charles's case and all the other stuff, obviously. But
yeah,
but yeah, so this video is 5 things you need to know about Vallows-Daybell's Arizona trial, going into the trial about Charles Vallow. So we are going to watch this as like a pre-server to that, and then on Thursday, like I said, we will do like pre-trial stuff, like the hearings, because Lori represented herself, and it is wild. So yes, let's do Nate. Let Nate do some of the talking, shall we?
Yeah.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Courtroom Insider live from Arizona. I hope you can hear me. I hope you can see me. I hope everything is going okay. We have somewhat of a new setup. I'm obviously in a new hotel room, and it's been a while since we have, done this full-on production, but I'm so glad you're with me. This is Courtroom Insider with Nate Eaton. That being said, I'm going to try not to hit the table. I talk with my hands a lot, and so I might brush the microphone. It's a very sensitive microphone. So thank you for being here tonight. I'd love to know where you are watching from and what questions you might have. I'm just sending a text real quickly to Peggy, our moderator. She's going to be gathering the comments throughout the night, and we're going to do something a little different this time around. I'm going to shout out some cities. So let me know where you're watching from, because it will be fun to see where everybody is watching from all over the country and the world, really. Made it to Arizona safely. As you can tell, had a great drive, left early Friday morning. And then I arrived here last night, stopped in Vegas halfway through, met some of you along the way, which was very cool to talk to you and hear your thoughts about the trial. And then basically kind of got settled in today, did a couple of interviews that will air this week about the trial. And tonight I want to talk a little bit about, well, really 5 things that you can expect at Lori's trial, which jury selection begins tomorrow. I also want to, well, let me just show you what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about what happens this week. Obviously, jury selection is this week, and we have a full docket. You know what? I'm going to move myself down there. Look, I can put myself wherever I want on the screen. Isn't that cool? So I'm going to be down in the lower corner. We're going to talk about what happens this week, what we know about jury selection. There are 12 people out there right now, well, really 16 with 4 alternates, who have no idea that they're about to serve on this jury, this big, massive case. They have no clue, because if they're watching this, they probably need to tell the judge they've been watching. And I have a question for you. Would you want to serve on this jury? If you didn't know anything about the case, or I guess jury in general, I've never been on a jury, and I would love to serve jury duty. My wife did it once, and when the defendant walked out, he saw the jury and said, "I'm out, never mind, let's settle." So I'm curious what you would think about that. Okay, so what do we know about jury selection? 5 things you can expect, we can all expect during the trial. And this is just kind of my predictions, you could say. Obviously, I don't have an inner tie to any of the people that are, on this case, other than apparently I'm a witness for the defense. But that aside, 5 things that I expect we will see at this trial. Also, I mentioned me being a witness. I have some new information about that I'll share with you for the first time here in just a few minutes, and some upcoming guests here on Courtroom Insider that I think you're really going to like. I know you're going to like. We also want to remember Charles. Every time I do one of these, I hope that we remember the victims. We talk.
I think you're muted.
Sorry.
Is my internet going slow?
No, it's me. I don't normally, sorry for everybody watching. I don't normally mute my StreamYard mic. I mute my mic. But this is about the victims. This is about remembering Tylee and JJ and Charles and Tammy, because 4 people lost their lives in this entire saga of events that happened. And there are family members out there like Colby and Tammy's family, and even Tammy's kids. They may still, I don't know what their views are as far as their father is concerned, but they lost their mom. Whether or not they want to believe she was unalived, they did lose their mom. And their kids lost their grandmother, and so on and so forth. And, it's sad. These are tough cases to watch. These are like, it's kind of like with Karen Reed. On one hand, she's innocent. She didn't do what she was accused of. But John O'Keefe still lost his life. And there are people that were affected by that. Again, whether or not they want to believe that Karen did or didn't do it is not a concern, not our concern, really. But,
right. They are grieving. They went through something. They lost somebody tragically,
Yeah. So,
and
there are feelers out to Nate and eventually, hopefully, Colby as well, to just have a chat with them about this whole thing. So, yeah, but that's for a different day. So back to this.
So much about Lori and Chad and Alex, but we also should talk about JJ and Tylee and Tammy and Charles Vallow. And this trial specifically is centered on Charles. And today, as I've been prepping for this, I went back, and it took me about 2 or 3 hours. I went back and watched all the videos from Charles with the police and the phone calls. And he seems just like such a caring, kind man who just wanted his marriage to last and wanted his son to be okay. So we'll remember Charles, of course, and then shout outs, cities, and your questions. So any questions you have about the trial, about what's happening over the next few weeks, let me know. Okay, let's jump right into jury selection.
Also, I don't know if you can get the link, Malin. Go subscribe to East Idaho News too if you haven't. Nate's been covering a lot of other, like he just covered Corey Richards and all that too. He briefly talked about Karen Reed in the Courtroom Insiders about Chad's trial, but didn't really cover it. He did, I think, talk about her verdict when it happened. But yeah, so there's a lot of cool stuff about this trial on the East Idaho News YouTube page. So, yeah.
I just dropped the
Sorry.
link. So make sure you give them a like and a sub. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool beans.
Sorry.
You're good. You're fine.
So here's what we know what's going to happen. Last week, I believe it was the end of last week, e-questionnaires were sent to potential jurors. Pools of, I believe, 200. Now, Maricopa County is a big county. I don't remember how many people, but you know what? I'm going to Google it, and I'm going to tell you how many people right here. We have a much bigger juror pool than in Ada County. How many people live in Maricopa County? According to Google, it's 4.586 million. That's from the U.S. Census Bureau. Okay, now that's not registered people on the register. That includes children and whatnot. So obviously they couldn't serve, but you really have millions of people to pick from. I know so many of you were saying, well, how can anyone not know about this case? I got my hair cut yesterday here in Maricopa County. Lady had no clue. She asked why I was in town. I told her. She was stunned. She's like, I got to go research this. Today I had to, run a few errands, go grocery shopping, get stuff for my trip. No one knew. People that asked, where are you from? What are you doing here? No one knew. I did meet and spoke with a couple of people in the lobby of my hotel this morning who were very aware of the case, but they were visiting from Utah, oddly enough. And people in Utah, when I was driving down, saw me and wanted to talk about the case. So that's definitely, if this were in Utah, I think it'd be a different thing. So I don't know. I don't know how quick they're going to find a jury. It could be a couple of days. They've set aside this week, Monday to Thursday, potentially Friday, to get the jury seated. We do know that the questionnaires will include the names JJ, Tylee, and Lori. Why is that a big deal? Well, the prosecutor really wanted JJ and Tylee's name included because often we might remember seeing something on the news about Susan Powell, for instance. Susan Powell. But we might not remember Josh Powell if he were alive and were charged and a potential juror saw Josh Powell, who's that? But they get to court and they're like, oh, Susan Powell. Yeah, that's that woman who vanished. So in this particular case, the prosecutor wanted to be sure JJ and Tylee's names were added to the questionnaire. The judge's name is on the questionnaire. The prosecutor's names, Lori's name, of course, is on the questionnaire. And these are just, we don't know all the questions that the list has not been publicly released of questions, but we do know that those names will be mentioned. We also know that in-person voir dire begins Tuesday. I'm sorry, I got to move my mic. If that is blasting your ears, I apologize. That means that the jurors, they're going to weed through all of these questionnaires that were sent in electronically. For anybody that passes that first round, they're going to bring them in groups. And much like the other trials in Idaho, they're going to probably question in groups, maybe 20. Do any of you have, law enforcement brothers or sisters or spouses or whatever? And then they're going to narrow it down, and then they'll do individual voir dire. They are going to go until we have, well, first of all, there will be no cameras in jury selection. The judge has said no cameras. This is different than what Judge Boyce said. The first year with Lori's first trial, obviously there were no cameras with any of them. And then the second year with Chad Daybell's trial, cameras were allowed, but we couldn't see any of the jurors. This time the judge has said no cameras for jury selection. So there will be no cameras at all this week. That being said, if there are last minute hearings about other issues, we will try to get a camera in there. Obviously, I'm from Idaho, so we're going to rely on our friends here in Arizona, Court TV, to hopefully get a camera in there if we need one. There will be 12 jurors and 4 alternates selected by the end of the week. That is the goal. That is the hope, that by this time next week, next Sunday night, we are prepping for opening statements, which are scheduled for April 7th, which is a week from tomorrow. So that is what we know about jury selection. Now, let's jump into 5 things we can expect at the trial, the Arizona trial of Lori Vallows-Daybell. Number 1, messages and videos from before Charles died. We've already seen this. I believe this will be admitted into evidence to this fresh batch of jurors. The text messages that Charles sent for months to Lori, to Adam Cox, to there's probably more. That there might be some new ones that come in. But not only that, the videos. We've seen the videos of
Adam
Charles
Cox is
Vallows going to the
Lori's
police
brother,
for help,
FYI.
asking for
her
help,
other brother,
talking about what his wife was doing. Those were happening in real time. 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 2019, 6 years ago this summer. Charles Vallows is no longer here to talk about those things, but there's video to do it. One of the videos, one of the calls, I think that will be played, again, my opinion, is this one. When Charles called his insurance company, not only once, not twice, but 3 times, he called his insurance company to get the beneficiary changed over. This first call happened in 2019, months before he died. And when he called up, the person on the line was asking Charles for his address, and Charles had moved. He didn't quite know what address it was registered under. Then the insurance agent asked for the person on the phone asked for Charles's PIN or password. Charles didn't know it. He repeatedly said, "There's no password on my account." That's when he got frustrated. And I believe, listening to this call that I'll play for you right now, he assumed that Lori, his wife, had called the insurance company and put a password on the account because she was trying to get that money. That's not confirmed, but listening to this call, maybe it will come out in court. I don't know if they've gone back and gotten all the previous calls for people who called on his account, but listen to this call from Charles Vallows. Oops, it's starting. Here we go. Sorry. Let me play that for you now. Hopefully you can hear it.
All right. Thanks a lot for holding. I do appreciate your time. So this is the best I can do. And I'm sorry because a lot of people are in a meeting. I was trying to get you to somebody. So I'm going to mail a beneficiary form out. Okay. And then you'll get that. Is there anything else?
Which address are you mailing it to?
Well, we can't change anything right now because you have
3300 BK Road, Suite 650.
That's the address that we authenticated you partially with, right?
Okay. And when did I set up a password?
Well, that was recent. It looks like on my note here.
I mean, how recent?
It looks like
6 months, 2 years?
220. No, February 20th.
Okay, somebody else has called under my account. That's fraud.
I don't know, sir. I mean, that's the thing is that I don't know.
I do know. I haven't called in on this policy in a long time.
Yeah, if you have concerns about that, then you need to supply some form of proof or something. But yeah, that's I'll be able to do that. But you can request request in writing.
My wife left me 30 days ago. She's taken a ton of my money. I don't know what she's doing on this account, but it's fraud. I'm the guy. I'm Charles Vallows. I'm the insured and the owner of the policy. Correct? And I need to know what to do right now today to change my beneficiary to my sister.
So what you need to do, sir, is the following, okay? What I would recommend that you do is you send something in writing, letting us know in writing, and I'll give you a fax number or an email address, etc. You need to send something in writing and be as blatant as possible with your concerns, okay? I would be personal in saying that you feel like somebody is trying to take away your information and etc. And that you talk to me, my name's Kevin, and that I could not authenticate you or change your address because the password could not be changed. Now then what they'll do is they'll go back to the calls, okay, that were made recently. They'll go back to the calls that were made recently, and then they'll do an investigation on the trend to see if something like that would, was to happen. And
will they let me know?
Yeah, they'll let you know. You got to put your contact, you got to
put
put your contact information in, etc., and then they'll let you know. Yes.
I'll put my new address. I'll put my new phone number.
Yeah.
And
email address.
I've not added the password.
Email address.
I've not added a password or anything to my account. Somebody else has been messing with my account. Please discontinue any use and speak only with Charles Vallow or KF Kathleen Ethel Woodcock, the owner and beneficiary.
Yeah, and then,
like that.
Yeah, right. And then you want to mention my name, but you spoke to Kevin and he could not authenticate me.
What's your last name, Kevin?
Della Rosa, DELAROSA.
Could not authenticate password.
I'm sorry?
Okay, I put on there that Kevin
Yeah.
Della Rosa could not authenticate password.
Yeah, password that was listed on the account. And you're requesting to have an investigation done because you feel like somebody is trying, if somebody, you have to be personal. You have to say, I think you just used the word your ex-wife or your wife is trying to take away, and you say a brief synopsis that, she's taking
your
your money.
Done.
Yeah, because you fear your wife is trying to.
Password was authorized in this account, and I did not do it.
Yeah, but don't just leave it like that because, you just told me that it was your wife. If you feel like that's something personal, then you need to say that so that we can go ahead and put this under investigation and review. People will go back and call and review calls that were made before to see what happened. But we'll just leave it like that in the air because.
And I'm going to email it. I'm going to fax it today, or can I email it?
Yeah, I can give you an email or a fax.
Okay, I hope you could hear that okay.
I forgot to mention that when Aiden was doing his hidden true crime stuff about Lauren, he had Kresha on his show. Kresha is Kay Woodcock's daughter. Kay Woodcock is Charles's sister. And so Kay is the biological grandmother of JJ because it was Kay's son who is JJ's father biologically.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And how many life insurances did Charles have? Just the one?
I think he just had the one. It was $1 million policy.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Don't yell at me.
So we have already heard from a family member. It was on Aiden's show. They didn't talk about much about the case, obviously, but yeah. So
I'm in Arizona. You got to have the air on constantly or it gets really warm. So I hope that my air isn't messing with you. That is just a snippet of a long extended multiple calls that Charles Vallow made to the insurance. So you've got that. You've got Kay Woodcock, who's likely going to testify that her brother called and said, I need to change the insurance over. You've got the fact that Charles had filed those divorce papers that he later withdrew, saying that Lori Vallow thought she was the leader of the 144,000, all that sort of stuff. And then you've got this 911 call. Now, remember when this kind of all, right before this came to a head, Charles was leaving town for business. Lori moved his truck. I'd forgotten she canceled this plane ticket. It was all going down. And we now know, and these are texts that will probably be admitted, that Lori and Chad had been communicating for months. However, in speaking with FBI agent Doug Hart, there's a black hole, pretty much, of all communication between Chad and Lori between October of 2018, when they met, until 2019, later part of the spring, summer. Would be, because they were using burner phones, would be fascinating if we could know what was in those conversations from the beginning. That stuff didn't come into trial in Idaho because they didn't really have it. We'll be interested to see what more Arizona has. Here's the 911 call Charles made that will also likely come into court.
January 31st, 2019, 13 hours, 12 minutes, 57 seconds.
Gilbert Police Department, this is Dee.
See, my name is Charles Vallow. I've got an order to hold my wife. You can look it up, Lori Vallow.
Uh-huh.
And go ahead.
Yep. You we spoke to you earlier about her.
Right. She is at the Gilbert PD saying I stole her purse. I'm going to go over there, and the officer said he won't hold her because he doesn't have an active order. Can you get that to him like immediately? I'm going there right now.
Okay, just one moment, sir.
Thank you.
Is she in the lobby right now?
That's correct. Blonde hair.
Okay. And how far away are you?
I'm about 10 minutes away. About
Do you
20
want
minutes.
officers
Where
with her?
You're at Civic Center Drive? You're on Civic Center Drive?
Yes. 75 East
Yeah.
Civic Center Drive. And do you want officers to go down there with her?
She's supposed to be retained for bridges. I got an order last night. She's lost her marbles.
Okay, we'll get in contact with our front office or our lobby.
Okay, but I don't want to go there if she's going to not be.
Yeah,
retained.
I'm gonna call them right now.
Can you call me back and let me know?
I can have an officer contact you. What's your number?
Okay, so
Correct.
again, a call, Charles,
Okay.
looking for help. And then we have police body camera footage. Remember this? This video will be played likely, in my estimation, in court.
Long story. She's had kind of a break from reality. She thinks you're LDS?
Yes.
She thinks she's married to Moroni in the past. This is her
You think she's what?
married to Moroni at the top of the temple.
Angel,
Moroni.
LDS. Angel.
They don't let me in there.
Probation, and she knows when the second coming is happening next year. So does a prophet.
Okay.
He knows it. She knows about it. She meets with Moroni, Jesus Christ, face to face in the temple every day. I've tried to support her as much as I could, but it's gotten really, really bad lately. She's had a break. She says, I'm Nick Schneider. I've taken over Charles's body, and Charles has been killed. I'm going to kill you. You're going to be murdered today or tomorrow. I can do it. With my priest, with my power. She does priesthood blessing. She does.
So who's Nick Schneider? Okay.
That's who I'm supposed to do.
Okay. Right. Okay. So he's not at church. He's not.
She took my truck from the airport. So thanks. She took my truck from the airport last night when I flew in. She canceled my flights. I had to buy another ticket to come back home. I've got a 6-year-old with special needs.
Right. And he stays at school somewhere.
Right.
Okay.
For now. If she knows I'm here, she's going to go get me.
Okay. What car? What is she driving?
A black Infiniti QX80.
And you've looked all through the parking lots.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Do you have the license plate on that?
It's KDM 62 or 63 or 67. It's handicapped. Okay?
There it is.
And I don't know where she put my truck. She took $35,000 in cash out of our account yesterday. I mean, I just never thought she would do anything like this, but she's just lost touch with reality. I'm not me. She yells. She's unhinged. It scared the crap out of me.
Okay. Now, I'm assuming you guys have phones. Is that an iPhone?
Yes.
Are you able to track to see where her phone is right now?
Her
I
phone's
hear
right here
iPhones.
The phone's with me.
Oh, your phone. Now, how did you get her phone?
Because it was in the car this morning when she pulled up to school. I took the keys out of her purse out so she couldn't leave. That's when I called you guys.
Okay.
Somehow she has a set of keys and left with my dog. And so I don't know where I saw this in her purse. I don't think she's here. They were going to give me a key to the room. I was going to go.
Why do they always got to take the dog?
We can't just.
She threatened me.
Right? They always got to take the dog. It's like, leave the dog out of this.
And if anybody doesn't know, Charles was from Louisiana, so yeah. Hence the accent. I forgot how thick his accent was.
I don't think it's that thick.
Well, I mean, compared.
I get it.
I
Yeah,
don't know
I guess
what's thick and not thick. I mean,
I have a hard time hearing Southern accents unless they get forced.
Mm. Yeah, Danny has an accent, but it's compared to Charles's accent, it's not nearly as thick, at least in my ears.
And see, I don't hear Danny's at all.
Yeah, see.
So, yeah.
Maybe it's because you're used to it.
I think so. So, I'm tone deaf to it.
Yeah.
Because the kids doesn't care what happens to them, come get them, I don't care. We won't care that much longer anyway. And I've got my God powers, I can kill you if I want, anytime I want. It's just irrational stuff.
Okay. Is the 6-year-old the only child in common?
Yes.
Okay.
We adopted.
Okay.
Nephew, my brother.
Okay. I think your priority should be there right now.
It is.
And then maybe if you don't feel comfortable with her state of mind, maybe figuring out a way to keep him safe, even if that means not being at school.
I'm in my attorney's office.
Yeah.
File paperwork for restraining order from her. If I can do that, I don't know.
Okay, so got that video. That's, again, just a snippet. We have the other video that where he had the encounter at night. I believe all of that will likely come into play. We have a bunch of messages, and here's just some of them. This comes from court documents. Everything seemed to change in June of 2019. That's a month before Charles Vallow died. On the 26th of June, 2019, Charles Vallow sent a text message to Adam Cox, Lori's brother, asking if he could chat. The two then had a telephone conversation. The next day, Charles sent Adam a link that talked about a, quote, translated being and about traveling to other dimensions. Charles told Adam that this was what Lori had been talking about extensively. Subsequent text messages expressed the opinion that Lori was ruining people's lives, to include Brandon Boudreaux, assumedly. Charles stated that Lori needed to be stopped before she ruined other marriages. The next day, June 28th, Adam sends Charles a text message stating that he told his mother they needed to have a family meeting to hold Lori accountable and have her explain the things that she'd been saying. Charles responded, "I will not be there. This is on her. I tried getting her help, and the entire family, except for you, put a scarlet letter on my forehead. The truth is, I put her back in Arizona so she could do her evil somewhere else. The only thing she's doing right is with JJ. He doesn't understand why his mommy left him for 72 days, but she did, and she blames it all on me. Good luck, Adam, and my prayers are with all of you. I don't think it'll work because she knows she's, quote, special." Charles then added on and on and on. So I would imagine they will present these texts that Charles is aware something's up. How much the prosecution in this case will go into religion, I think you would have to. The question is, how much will they get into the whole zombies and light dark scale? It will be fascinating to see. On June 29th, Charles discovered the email that Lori sent to Chad Daybell, where she presented to be Charles. Remember that email where it's like, "Hey, my name's Charles Vallow. I listened to you speak, and you're a wonderful speaker, and I heard you write, and I'm wondering if you would come to Arizona and help me write my biography," something like that. I don't remember all the details. I have it, but I didn't pull the time to take the time to pull it up. So, and Charles confronted Lori about this, and this is what he said. Let's see. They had gone back and forth. "Then tell me why you used my name," this is to Lori from Charles, "and fictitious email to send a BS email about a book I'm having him ghostwrite for me. It's a fraud and a lie. There's no other reason for it other than to get him to Arizona and have an excuse for his wife. You did this. I had nothing to do with it, and you know it. Also, he did not stay with us in November. I will find out." Lori responds, "You're wasting your time. They are both my friends. Move on with your life. We are done. Let's just get through it." Charles, "You're destroying people's lives. Had I known you were spending hours talking to Mel and poisoning her toward Brandon, I would have said something. You're disgusting. You have had a serious disconnect. Otherwise, you'd send your lover Moroni to come zap me or put me in a pod, or him do to Joe. Get through it. Are you going to go to court to fine? I believe. Are you going to go to court to fine? Otherwise, nothing will happen. You just hate it when your evil ways have been exposed. That is a lie, and you know it." Lori, I'm tired of the way you're speaking to me. I will not stay married to someone who claims to be a priesthood holder and speaks to me the way you do. Charles, me? Look at what you say to me. You've called me Ned and Garrett, and you call me off. Lori, go look in the mirror. You will be stopped. That's all I'll say, and you won't see it coming. You are in need of some serious help. I do have the priesthood, but you're the one having the affair. You're out of your mind. Think about all the things you truly believe about yourself. I'm the one being brave enough and loves you enough to call you on this BS, which is all it is. You've been horribly deceived. You asked me if I ever hurt anyone, and the answer is hell yes. Just look around you. You're destroying every family you touch. Whew. Lori says, stop texting me or I'm blocking you. I'll assume you're not coming to pick up JJ since you are off to try to get non-existent evidence against me. Have fun with that. This was end of June. Charles Vallow died in July. Next text. I think I just played that one. Okay, sorry, ignore the top one. Stop texting me or I'm blocking you. Charles and says, I don't enjoy fighting with you, but you need to be stopped from destroying so many lives that you've already, with your whacked out delusions, you've made our beautiful gospel a thing of horror. That will stop. Just take care of JJ. You get out where you belong. Till you get out where you belong, just keep me updated on how our boy is doing. That's all for now. Pick him up. I'm staying at my house. Lori, no, you are not. Jason blank will make sure of it. Get a hotel or stay with Brandon, your best friend, Brandon Boudreaux. So Charles is saying, I'm going to come and stay at my house. Lori's saying, no, you're not. No, is he on the lease? I'll have the police there. If he tries, it's my house. Are you going to stay with your
Hi, Scott.
Hey,
Yeah,
Scott.
We're going over some pre-trial, what to expect when we start watching Lori Vallow's first Arizona trial next week.
Yes.
boyfriend at his hotel since he's making so much money writing a book for me? Lori, okay, Joe Ryan. Joe Ryan's her third husband who died. He is the police. He is retired. He is not on the lease. Even he can't do anything. I'm assuming she's talking about Jason Mao, who worked for the police department, who is, Lori is saying, I'll get him to stop you, and they go back and forth. More texts. Lori, you don't come. Stay in Houston until the divorce is done. Charles, not filing. I'll be there later. Like I said, when I come to the door, you can leave if you like. Take Tylee too. You get awful angry when you get caught in your lies. Lori, JJ is sick and wants his mommy. Out of all the texts when I was preparing this one hit me. JJ is sick and wants his mommy. Good rich, I think she means good luck trying to take him away from me. Here is Charles trying to make sure his son's okay. He's in Houston. He's coming to Arizona. He's concerned. He's raised the alarm. He's texting his wife, calling her out on this affair. She's denying it. She's lying. She's saying, JJ can't come with you. He's sick. Charles is going home to die, to be murdered, allegedly. And these are the texts days before his death. I'm not taking him anywhere. I believe this is Charles. I'm not taking him anywhere. I hope he gets better soon. I'm staying there. I've never taken him from you. We've been good at working together since you came back from Hawaii, assumedly. As you can see, it's affected him greatly. Hopefully he'll get better soon. I don't want to escalate this any further. Let's both calm down and do what we're supposed to do. Take care of our boy. I'm sorry I upset you. I will find out the truth eventually about all your doings. I'll leave the rest to you. We need to talk about Mo, Run, but not today. Let's try tomorrow and both agree to be civil. I'm not going to file for divorce. I'll leave that to you. Charles told Adam Cox that this was a great example of what was happening, and this was the first time he's told Lori about how he feels. So Charles sent all of this conversation over to Adam Cox. So Adam had an idea of the relationship between the two of them. Then the texts, according to police documents, were pretty civil from July 2nd until July 9th. What other texts were swinging back and forth between Lori and Chad and Alex at that time? Well, we know some of them. I'm not going to take the time to go through them tonight. I imagine, will come out in court. The ones where Lori's saying, you need to stay close to me, Alex, the night before Charles was shot, things like that. On July 10th, Adam flew to Arizona to try to arrange a family meeting with Lori. Adam's flight, I hope you can see that. Adam's, flight was booked by Charles. A text sent to Adam from Charles on July 9th reads as follows, quote, one moment. This is, again, so the 10th was Charles Vallow died on the 11th. This text was sent on the 9th, 2 days before he died. Your flights are booked. You should have the emails. I'm really uneasy about how she will respond, not only to you, but to me and blank and Brandon. I'll pick up JJ and take him to school at 8 a.m. Thursday. She'll be there. Friday the same. She will be highly suspicious about recording. Let me back up. They had talked, Adam and Charles had talked about going in and recording audio, Lori, recording some sort of interaction with Lori to get some sort of recording. And they had gone back and forth about having a backup recorder. Those are also in the text. But so that's why they're talking about recording. She will be highly suspicious about recording. If you can bring a second device and put your phone on the counter or turn it off, it might help. Just a brother talking to his sister. I personally feel she's gone too far. It is going to take us going to blank or she won't ever stop. She's hurting too many families. Mine is gone, Adam. I just want to save others from the same fate. I still love her more than life, but the slots we knew is gone. I fear forever. Gosh, 2 days before he died. Then,
Okay. Is it just me, or is this kind of giving you vibes of the past relationship that we were just watching the hearing on yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Like listening to the manipulation of Lori with Charles and that whole dynamic. And you think about those other two people. I know we talked about them earlier by name, but you know, that's not drawing haters, shall we say.
Right.
Yeah. But just listening to it, the manipulation that the gaslighting, like, it's very, very similar.
Very.
So yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Got it.
It's crazy.
I believe Adam said, got it. But honestly, if you blank Brandon and me, go to him, that should be enough. I believe they're talking about a religious leader, going to a religious leader to have Lori Vallow's temple recommend pulled, which a temple recommend is like a pass. It's a piece of paper that you go to your leader of your congregation and you're asked questions about, excuse me, a series of questions about whether you're living a clean life, a moral life. If you say yes, the leader gives you this recommend. You can then go to the temple anywhere in the world, any of the LDS temples, and get into the temple, which Lori was going to daily. So they're talking about going to her leader, her bishop, I believe, and talking about filling the bishop in on what's happening. Charles arrived in Phoenix on July 10th. He stayed at a hotel that Lori rented for him. In a text by Charles to Lori, he asked if the hotel room was already paid for, and she informed him it was. Charles then responded, thanks. I'll see him tomorrow. I'll take him to school and pick him up. Friday too, thanks. On July 11th, the day Charles was killed, Charles went to Lori's residence in Chandler. At 7:34, Charles's phone showed just west of 5531 South Four Peaks Place. Between 7:35 and 7:37, the following text string was located between Charles and Adam. Charles, Al is here, meaning Alex. Adam, at Lori's? Adam, Really? I wonder why he never called me back. Adam, they are planning something. Charles, absolutely. Adam, I was supposed to spend the night at his house last night. She probably blocked that. What you do is up to you. That was the last message read by Charles at 7:37. Adam would send the following message at 7:37, but it was not read until 12:13 when Charles was dead and Lori was control of his phone. Adam, I'm going to put the pressure to have him come get me right now. See what he says. Adam, okay? There were no further messages from Charles. Adam would send Charles the following messages at 7:49. The following message. Me and Blank are going to the Stake Center tonight at 8 to play basketball. Blank is always there, either playing ball or interviewing people. I will try to catch him to have a conversation with my old friend. Again, I believe he's talking about the religious leader. When you see the black squares, the names have been redacted. Police have pulled those names out for privacy. The message about him going to play basketball and seeing the religious leader was read at 12:13 when Lori was in control of Charles's phone. At the time the message was read. In reviewing the data, I noticed that he left his location services on, and we'll get into that in a minute. That's how they were able to track where Charles's device went the day he was shot. In fact, that specific 1 hour, which is so critical. And that is the next point that I think we're going to see at the trial. So the first point was the text messages and the cell phone and the videos from the police. The second point, I think they're going to really focus on the hour of the shooting. I played this a few weeks ago. I want to play it tonight because we have new viewers, which gives us a quick timeline. It's about 3 minutes of what happened during that critical hour after Charles was shot and the timeline and locations. This is the home behind me where Charles Vallow was shot and killed back in July of 2019. Beautiful house in a nice neighborhood in Chandler. At 7:33 that morning, Charles texted Lori, and then police say that his device was here at the house at 7:50. So 17 minutes later, his device was here at the house. And then for nearly 40 minutes, the device left the home. It was not here. And I'm going to take you kind of on a drive to show you the movements, according to police, that Lori Vallow went on with Charles Vallow's device, allegedly that morning, where that device ended up before it ended up back here at the house. Now, at 7:52 that morning, there was a voice call between Alex and Lori. We don't know what was discussed during that call. It seemed to be relatively short because Lori stopped at a fast food restaurant. 2 minutes after that phone call, Lori went through the drive-thru here at this Burger King around 7:54 a.m. Charles's device was pinged here at the restaurant around 7:55 a.m. So they were here for just a few minutes. Lori ordered some chicken nuggets, some chicken fries, according to a receipt that we have, some Sprite and a bottle of water. Think about it. While she's here getting that food back at the house about 5-6 minutes away, according to my driving records, Charles was dying and Alex was there with him. Lori was here with Tylee and JJ, and then they left the fast food restaurant and did one more stop before taking JJ to school. Charles's device arrived at Walgreens at 8:16 in the morning. Surveillance footage captured Lori purchasing a pair of flip-flops. She was here for about 4 minutes. She then left the Walgreens around 8:20 in the morning. Charles's device arrives here at JJ's school at 8:32. 4 minutes later at 8:36, that's when Alex Cox, back at the house, calls 911 to report that he has shot his brother-in-law.
I'm in police in an ambulance.
What's the emergency there?
I got in a fight with my brother-in-law and I shot him in self-defense.
Okay, let me get the medics on the phone. And is he hurt or is he alive or?
Yeah, there's blood. He's not moving.
How long ago did this happen?
A couple of minutes.
And at 8:49, the device ended up back here at the house. Of course, we have seen that police body camera footage with Lori Vallow talking to the officers, with Alex Cox on the side of the road dabbing his head, saying he had been hit with a baseball bat. And then Lori and Alex and Tylee were taken to the police station for questioning. And here we are 5 years later, awaiting Lori Vallow's trial. That's the timeline of that morning. I realized I sounded a little sick there. That was probably the start. I got a nasty, horrible sinus infection. that I'm finally over just in time for the trial. Okay, so that 1 hour is going to be pivotal. Third point that we're going to see during the trial, in my opinion, Lori's life insurance and Chad's funeral home calls. Remember those calls that we heard? Here's one.
Claims Department, this is Robin. May I have the policy number?
Sure. It is
Are you calling in reference to a death claim?
yes.
Okay, one moment, please. May I have the name of the insured?
L. Charles Vallow.
And who am I speaking with?
This is Lori Vallow.
And your relationship to the insured?
He's my husband.
Okay, one moment. Okay, ma'am, I'm just going to need to ask you a few questions so that I can open the claim, and then I can go over the claim procedure with you and answer any questions that you may have afterwards.
That would be great.
Okay, first of all, may I have your daytime phone number, please?
Sure. It's 2.
And what was the date of Mr. Vallow's passing?
July 11th.
And what was the cause of his passing?
Well, he was shot.
Okay.
So I don't know how I want to put that.
Okay. All right. And I hate to ask, but is it?
Yeah,
you can just say yes or no. Was it a homicide?
No, it was an accident.
An accident. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what state did he pass away in?
Arizona.
Okay. All right, just bear with me for one moment. I just need to pull up a few other things.
Okay.
Okay. Are you aware of who the primary beneficiary of the policy is?
It's me.
Okay. And may I have your, I'm sorry, one moment. My computer just went away for a second. Okay. And may I have your current mailing address?
Sure. It's 5531 South 4 FOUR Peaks PEAKS Place.
Okay.
In Chandler, Arizona. And 85249.
Okay, ma'am. That is all the information I need to open the claim. What we will do now is review the policy and the file to confirm the beneficiary information and determine the claim requirements that we will need to settle this particular claim. Once we have completed our review, we will prepare a claim packet to send to the named beneficiary once that has been confirmed. And the claim packet can either be mailed or emailed or faxed. How would you like to receive a correspondence?
Email would be great.
Okay, and what is your email address?
So Lori ended up not getting that life insurance policy. And she was upset about that. There's that other call too that we'll play, probably not tonight, but maybe another night, or it will come out in court, where Chad Daybell called the funeral home for his uncle, Daybell, to get a cost on how much it would cost to ship the cremains of his uncle. The day, I believe it was the day Charles died or the next day, called the funeral home in Arizona. I imagine that call will be played. It was played in both the other trials in Idaho. Okay, the fourth thing to pay attention to during this trial is nearly 24 state witnesses. And we know who they are. Unlike in Idaho, where that witness list was sealed, here is who the state plans to call, or at least the people who are on their list. They could always take them off. But we have from the Chandler Police, Daniel Coons, retired. Nathan Duncan, we've heard him before. He testified in Idaho. Marissa Francisco, Jason Hunsaker, Robert Crotham, retired. William McDonald, retired. Nathan Moffat, we've heard from him before. Ariel Werther, we've heard from him. Erwin, he's got a great deep voice. He's the guy that went through all the data of the pings of where Charles's phone went that morning. Erwin Weiserbicki and Cassandra Youngklin, we've heard from her as well. So all of those people from the police are going to testify, or they're on the list. Chandler Fire, we have Kent Keller and Scott Cowden. I believe we've heard from both of them, or at least one of them. Department of Public Safety, Jeff Moberg. The medical examiner, Dr. Derek Baumgartner. He'll likely testify about Charles's body and the gunshot wounds. Office of the Inspector General, Mark Sorry, we've heard from him. He dealt with the money, the finances. Robin Smith Scott from Banner Life Insurance will testify. And then we have the civilians, Christina Atwood, Adam Cox, Nancy Jo Hancock, Serena Sharp, and Kay Woodcock. Those are the 21 witnesses the state will put on their witness list. Maybe not on the stand, but they might put them all on there. Now, who will Lori call?
I don't think the state ended up calling all of those people. But I think for me, the hardest, like in this trial, for me, the hardest witnesses to listen to were definitely Kay Woodcock, his sister, Charles's sister, and Adam Cox, Lori's brother. Adam and his uncle Rex used to have their own podcast / YouTube show for a while, and I'll have to look it up and see if it's still up, and see if I can find the episode where he talks about the day like that when this all happened and everything, because he goes through a lot of it, and it'll be really interesting to hear again.
Yeah.
And
okay, great.
they also
see you guys. See you later. Thank you for stopping by.
They also did a episode specifically about Alex that would probably be very interesting to go over as well. So yeah. We'll figure out when we do that. But anyway, there's a lot of stuff on these cases that we like. We could go on for months about these cases because there's just so much.
I am seeing this.
Yeah. All right. Back to this. Oh, by the way, I know why I say back to this so much. I blame it on Danny.
Oh.
Because I was watching last night and he said it a couple times. I'm like, damn it, that's where I get it from. Okay, back to this.
Roll tape.
Hang on.
Who's on her list?
There we go.
We know that too. Lori Vallows-Daybell is at the top of her list. Will she testify this trial? I think she might. You know what? I want to call it.
Spoiler alert: she does not.
This is me just pointing out. I believe she's going to testify. I could be wrong, but I think we're going to hear from her this trial. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. I don't bet, but maybe if we did a betting pool, we could see. Not that we should on a matter like this, but I think she's going to testify. We also have, she wrote, any and all individuals who have spoken with any witness. Any and all individuals who have spoken with any witness she has on her list. That's a lot of people. Custodian of records for any and all exhibits, Nate Eaton. Vicia Itahau, sorry, Vicia, that's Tylee's friend. Gabriel Bonilla, Joseph Ponsgratz, Ashlyn Rind, Tylee's friend, Barry Cox, Lori's father, Zach Cox, Charles's son, Adam Cox, her brother. Adam's also, was he on for the, yeah, he's on for the prosecution too. Janice Cox, the mother, Summer Shiflett, even though Lori listed Shizlet, spelled it wrong, and Brandon Boudreau. Those are all of the witnesses that are on the list. We'll talk a little bit more in a minute about me and my situation. The final point. So the 5 things that I believe we're going to hear at this trial. Number 1 is the text message in the recordings. Number 2, we're going to hear the 1 critical hour of Charles Vallows' life right there. Number 3, we're going to hear about the life insurance and the funeral home call from from Chad and Lori. Number 4, these witnesses, obviously we're going to hear from them. And number 5, we are going to hear from Lori, the lawyer. The biggest question of them all, how will she be during the trial? Will she be like how she was every day with Keith Morrison? Defiant, smart.
Okay. I mean, she doesn't look a whole lot like her, but tell me there isn't some resemblance there to a certain other blonde character in all this that we've been covering.
Yeah, I see it.
Maybe a even more psychotic version, if that's even possible, but let's not go there. Bad Angie. I'm not, as much as I want to, I am not following Baker's rules very well about not talking about it, because it could be bad for Aiden, but it's so hard not to look at that face and compare it. Like,
yeah, I'm doing my best not to. I see it.
Okay, yeah. Anyway,
all right, roll tape.
Roll tape.
Art Alecky, you could say, will that wear off after a few days, after a few weeks? That is to be seen. That's what we will see. Now, the big question that a lot of you have, will I really be a witness in this case? Reporters hate being the story. Reporters, we're there to report. I did an interview with Colby Ryan last week, and it was odd for me to be answering the questions. We want to be there to report. We're there to observe. I'm here in Arizona as a representative of the people, you could say. The people in Idaho, those of you who can't make it to court, it's my job to bring it to you. The freedom of the press. I am allowed to come and cover news events for you. So anytime a reporter is inserted into a story, much less a murder trial, it can become awkward. And because of that, originally, I had said here, I believe, that I didn't think it mattered because I hadn't been served a subpoena. And if I wasn't planning to go to court, maybe that would be true. But if I walked into the court, from what I understand, Lori Vallow could say, Your Honor, one of my witnesses is here watching, and there is an exclusionary rule. Exclusionary rules apply to all witnesses. They cannot watch or listen to other people's testimony because it could affect their own testimony. And assuming the judge allows Lori Vallow's objection to me being there, I would need to leave. The prosecution has already filed a notion to preclude, meaning exclude, all of Lori's witnesses. She filed the paperwork, her motion, late past the deadline. So the prosecution says they should all be thrown out. The judge has not ruled on that yet. In order to kind of protect myself after consulting with our attorneys, we came up with this that I filed last week pro se, meaning on behalf of myself. I worked with an attorney to write this. Know that I did not write most of this, but it sounds very smart. Nate Eaton, appearing pro se, files this emergency motion for protective order requesting the court strikes his name from the witness list of the defendant Lori N. Daybell, pursuant to Arizona Rule of Criminal Procedure or any other applicable law or rule as follows. I have learned that I have been identified as a potential witness by Ms. Daybell for both this case and the other case, the one involving Brandon Boudreaux, which will happen in a few months. I'm a reporter for East Idaho News and have no firsthand knowledge of information regarding the crimes of which Ms. Daybell has been accused. My involvement in any matter related to Ms. Daybell has only been as a reporter. It is my understanding that by simply listing me as a potential witness, I can be barred from the courtroom during Ms. Daybell's trial. This seems to be a clear attempt by Ms. Daybell to use the role of criminal procedure as a pretext simply to keep me out of the courtroom and interfere with my ability to report. Such an effort clearly interferes with my First Amendment rights as a reporter and the First Amendment rights of my employer to view and report on the events of the trial in the same manner as any other member of the media. Thus, listing me as witness results in the harm far outweighing any claimed usefulness. There is no legitimate usefulness to listing me as a witness. Further, that risk of harm cannot be eliminated by a less substantial restriction of discovery rights, as it is not the disclosure of my identity that is harmful, but the abuse of the rules of criminal procedure to list me as a witness in order to interfere with my constitutionally protected rights and duties. Therefore, I respectfully request the court deny or strike Ms. Daybell's attempt to list me as a potential witness, signed by me. We sent that in Wednesday or Thursday. Then we got a hold of a very smart media attorney here in Arizona who has done work for media all over the place. And we have not reported this yet, but on Friday late, he filed this motion on behalf of me, asking the judge to hold a hearing before, if there's any chance that I'm going to be struck or that I'm not going to be allowed in, we are requesting an in-person hearing with the judge to discuss this issue. Here is the motion. Again, it hasn't been reported yet. It was just filed on Friday evening. I don't know if I'll read through the whole thing. It's 5 pages, but non-parties East Idaho News and its journalist Nate Eaton filed a supplemental memorandum in support of Nate Eaton's emergency motion for protective order. As the court knows, the case is the subject of widespread public attention, both here in Arizona and in Idaho, where the defendant, Lori Vallow, was convicted of murdering her 2 children. As the court also knows, Ms. Daybell has criticized news coverage of the criminal proceedings against her. Nate Eaton, the news director of East Idaho News, has reported on Ms. Daybell's criminal cases in Idaho and Arizona and intends to attend and report on the trial in this matter, scheduled to begin with jury selection on March 31st. Ms. Daybell has included Mr. Eaton's name on her list of potential trial witnesses, but has neither contacted Mr. Eaton about any relevant information he may have, nor issued a subpoena. Mr. Eaton did not witness any of the events at issue in this case. His only connection is his coverage of the criminal proceedings against Ms. Daybell. Mr. Eaton, acting pro se, filed the emergency motion on March 25th, noting that his inclusion on the witness list, quote, seems to be a clear attempt by Ms. Daybell to use the rules of criminal procedure as a pretext simply to keep me out of the courtroom and interfere with my ability to report. East Idaho News now files a supplemental memorandum to further explain why Mr. Eaton is entitled to this relief that he seeks. An order striking his name from the witness list, or at a minimum, exempting him from the exclusionary requirements. And then we go on to say that Ms. Daybell has no right and has not met the strict requirements under Arizona law and the First Amendment to compel me to testify. In order to do that, she would need to serve me a subpoena and require that the subpoena has to be supported by an affidavit setting forth certain information, like the information Lori seeks, a certification that she's attempted to get that information before sending me a subpoena, the identity of the sources, things like that. Second, and then that goes on. And then second, preventing me from attending the trial would violate my right and East Idaho News' First Amendment right to report on criminal procedures. Simply listing me as a potential witness who might be called to testify does not provide a basis for excluding me from the courtroom. Mr. Eaton has not been subpoenaed, and as explained above, any such subpoena would be void. But even if Ms. Daybell could issue a valid subpoena, barring Mr. Eaton from the courtroom during her trial would violate his and East Idaho News's First Amendment rights. It goes on to say at the end.
So I wasn't sure if he was going to talk about this on this episode, but I know Aiden mentioned during the whole hidden true crime saga, that he talked to Nate and that he asked Nate to come on his show. But I don't know about you, but that would be one of the things I would want to talk to Nate about, is to see how much he actually knows about Aiden's case, because this motion mentions the First Amendment so much.
Right.
And because Nate may not be an independent journalist, because East Idaho News is its own, like,
right.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he, by going up to Chad and Lori, did exactly what Aiden did with Jen McCabe and with, the McAlberts in Karen's case. Ish. Granted, he didn't call them killers, but,
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
But it's relatively similar. It's in the same vein anyway.
Yes. Right.
And so that would definitely be a subject I'd want to broach with Nate about, for sure, if we do get a chance to talk to him.
Right.
Because he's not, like I said, he's not an independent journalist, but he is a journalist, and he is, like, relatively free from, like, mainstream media, because East Idaho News is its own entity.
True.
But he's also worked for, just to give you a little bit of background, if you don't know, Nate worked at a small station, or at a station in West Virginia. I think it was Virginia, because he was there during the DC sniper case and covered that. So, he's been, involved with pretty big cases, not just Lori and Chad's.
Right.
I mean, this one definitely, I think, was more personal to him, because he was so involved from the get-go of the case. But,
right.
Definitely something to keep in the back of our minds if we ever do get a chance to speak with him.
Yep. All right. Roll tape.
For the foregoing reasons, well, actually, let me read this paragraph. If this court prohibits Mr. Eaton from attending and reporting on this trial simply because she inexplicitly listed him as a potential witness, Ms. Daybell will have succeeded in performing an end run around two of the most sacrosanct First Amendment principles. She will be excluding a journalist from a criminal trial and effectively gagging that journalist, with this court's help, from telling the public what transpires during the trial. The court should not stand for such misuse of its procedures. We then say,
okay. That point that he just read brings me to what happened with Aiden. And I can't help but, like, compare, because, we're so, like, we so closely follow Aiden stuff. But what happened with Aiden when he was barred from the courtroom by Judge Cannoni during Karen's case for certain witnesses. I think it was in trial 1 or trial 2? I can't remember. No, it was trial 1, because Brian Albert, I think, was one of the people.
Yeah.
So, again, there's that comparison. But yeah. Back to
For the
Rotate.
foregoing reasons and for the reasons set forth in the emergency motion, we request that the court grant the motion and issue an order striking my name from her list or exempting me at a minimum from the exclusionary rule. East Idaho News also respectfully requests that its counsel be provided the opportunity to appear and be heard before the court issues any order that would bar Mr. Eaton from the courtroom. Tomorrow I plan to go to the court. My attorney has told me I can be in the courtroom during jury selection. It's not part of the official trial, and I will not be hearing other witnesses. I'm hopeful that in the morning the judge rules on this and my emergency order, and that he says I'm struck from the list and we don't have to talk about it ever again. That is my hope. I hope you hope that too. There have been reporters forced to testify in other cases. It might, the issue is here. I have nothing to say. These crimes happened in July of 2019. Lori Vallow, I did not cover this story until December of 2019. So I have not witnessed anything, and all of the information I know has been gathered in news gathering from sources, from my own research, from investigations, my own doing, not about this case. So we'll see what the judge says. Thank you all for your concern. That's what I've been asked the most, and hopefully I'll have a report to bring you tomorrow night that I can be in the courtroom. I'm hoping it's tomorrow.
And he was allowed in the courtroom. So in the end, he was allowed.
This has been a headache. Thank you for letting me get a little personal there. I will try not to do that again. Okay, here's what we have this week. I hope you'll tune in. It's going to be exciting. Tomorrow night, prosecutor Rachel Smith will be here. She was the special prosecutor for Lori Vallow's first trial. She knows the death penalty inside and out. She has prosecuted, I believe, 120-something homicide cases, and she's going to be here. And she's going to talk about the role of the prosecutor when a defendant is representing themselves, and also a bunch of other Daybell stuff. In fact, Rachel has agreed to probably come back and take your questions. So tomorrow, please tune in. Think of questions you'd want to ask her, and then we can have her back in a few days or weeks and go through those. On Tuesday, Lieutenant Hermosillo is going to be here. What is he looking forward to about this trial? Or looking forward to, I say, what does he hope gets answered, if anything? Wednesday, we're going to have Doug Hart. Remember, he's the FBI agent with 20 plus years of experience. He went through Lori's iCloud, that tedious work, combed through it all. He's going to be here. Thursday, to be announced. I'm hoping I can announce tomorrow, and then I'll tell you who it's going to be. But let me know if there's any guests that you might want to see the interview that can. A lot of people can't because, the trial is going on, at least in Arizona, but maybe some guests from the past. And I can reach out and try to get them on here. Don't forget Courtroom Insider every night at 8 p.m. Mountain. It's so funny how many of you have said, what time is that where I live? So I broke it down for you. I'm sorry I did not go through the entire world, but in America, if you're on the Pacific time zone or in Arizona where there's no daylight savings, 7 o'clock every night, Sunday to Thursday. Maybe a few additions on Friday and Saturday. Mountain, it's 8 o'clock. Central, it's 9. Eastern, thanks for staying up late with me, 10 o'clock. And then if you miss it, you can go back to our YouTube channel and watch it anytime, day or night. It's there forever. So if you're out of the country and you don't know what time this associates, pick up your phone, go to Google and say, when it's 7 o'clock in Arizona, what time is it in wherever? Okay. We good on that? Good. Okay, here's how you can stay up to date. Read live updates. Starting tomorrow, I believe, when there's no cameras in the courtroom, we're going to see how tomorrow goes, because I have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow with the court stuff and the jury selection. Whenever jury selection begins, I will be posting live written updates on eastidahonews.com. It will probably be pretty mundane stuff. However, With Lori Vallow, you never know what type of questions she will ask. Will she want all men on the jury? We will see. Watch the court proceedings on our YouTube channel starting next week, April 7th. Subscribe if you haven't already. And then if you hit that bell, you should get a notification every time we go live and post a video. Courtroom Insider, I mentioned we're here every night. Also, if you want a written newsletter in your email, you can sign up for our Daybell Digest. Go to eastidahonews.com/Daybell and you can sign up there. And I think that's it. But before we go, this is the man whose life was taken too soon. Charles Vallow holding an adorable little girl. I don't know who that little girl is, but you can tell in those texts that he cared a lot about JJ. And over the next few weeks, hopefully justice will be served on behalf of him. We've been through the trials of JJ and Tylee and Tammy. I still don't want to remember them and talk about them. In fact, on my drive up to Arizona, I stopped by the Springville Cemetery. I had thought about doing this a few weeks ago. And then I should stop by because I have never seen Phyllis's resting place. And I thought, I don't know, I'm going to be in a hurry and whatever. So I forgot about it until I was on the freeway and I saw Springville and I had just stopped for lunch. And I'm like, another stop. And it wasn't right off the freeway. Anyway, I did. There was somebody having a service right next to their gravesite, so I tried to be respectful. But here's Tammy's funeral headstone, if you have not seen it. And right there in the background, just about 2 feet away, is Phyllis's, her mom. And look at how beautiful this gravestone is. The tree with the heart, the temple where they were married in 1967, and a bench so you can sit with that tree stump holding up the bench. You can sit and look at Tammy's gravestone. It's a beautiful, beautiful resting place. So we're thinking about Tammy too. We're thinking about JJ. We're thinking about Tylee, and of course Charles. I do want to give a shout out tonight before we get to our list to Teton Toyota. I had to take this picture. For those, if you weren't following me on social media, Teton Toyota sponsored me getting here with this Toyota Prius. I only had to fill up gas 3 times from Idaho Falls to Phoenix. And I saw these cactuses. I'm like, that is so Arizona. So I stopped, I took a picture, and just want to give a big thanks to Teton Toyota. And one other thing before we get to your questions, I went for a run this morning. I was so tired from 2 days of sitting. So I went for a run. It was beautiful. I come back to the hotel. I go to get some breakfast. So this morning I had a bowl of Lucky Charms. My son loves Lucky Charms. So I'm like, I'll get this. And I sent him a picture, my youngest. And I'm sitting there and I look over and I see Kurt Bester. For those of you who don't know who Kurt Bester is, I grew up listening to Kurt Bester every Christmas with my family. My parents love Kurt Bester. They've gone to his concert every year for 50, 30, 40 years, whatever. Not that long, 20 years maybe. But he's a beautiful musician. He does a lot of music, and he's sitting there in the lobby. And I'm like, I'm not going to say hello. Plus, I stunk. I had just run, and I was really stinky, and I was in a hurry. And he looks over, and he says, "Hey, Nate, how you doing?" I'd interviewed Kurt. Actually, my daughter, Emmy, had interviewed him years ago. And so I went over, I said, "I'm so sorry, I stink." And we took a picture together. Again, I'm in my workout clothes, and he was getting ready to head to the airport. He was in Chandler last night for a concert, doing a concert himself. But we talked about the trial. He's been following it. So Kurt, if you're watching, good seeing you. And keep watching, because there's a lot that's going to happen over the next few weeks. Okay, did we get it all? Let me go through the questions. Miss Peggy, our moderator, let's hear it for Peggy. If you're watching on YouTube, give Peggy a shout, because she's doing an amazing job with all of this. And here we go. Shout outs. Eddie Kane, Bert Haslam Sr., how are you guys? Sherry Edwards, Barb Murray, Roseanne Cellini, Ellie J, Bree Marie, Mel Stiller, Chris Forbes, Nina Sage, Diana Meserly, and Melody Bodell. Thank you all so much for watching. And here are some of the cities where you were watching from. Kauai, beautiful Kauai. New Zealand, amazing. Zimbabwe, New York, what the heck? Isle of Wight, UK, British Columbia in Canada, Paris Crossing, Indiana, Rupert, Idaho. Hey, Rupert. Ireland, and Gilbert, Arizona.
Angie.
On the street. Thank you all so much for watching. Okay, I got some.
Yeah. Hey, Is there any more about the trial in this, or is it just audience questions?
Yeah, it's just audience questions. So.
All right, I think we can skip that.
There. Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you think so far? Besides, there's like so much.
I have a lot of questions.
So I will try my best to answer.
Husbands.
She had 5.
2 husbands that passed away.
Yeah.
Okay, so she had 5. Chad being the last, right?
Yes.
Okay. So 2 have passed away. So 2 are still living.
3 are still living. Because Chad is still alive. Yeah.
I'm not counting Chad.
He's a dead man walking, but you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking of the 4 innocent men before him.
Yeah. One is one she married, I think, like right out of high school. One was the next one was Colby's dad.
Okay.
The one after that was Joseph Ryan. He was Tylee's dad, and he adopted Colby. Yeah, he passed, but he didn't pass until after they had divorced. They divorced, and then Tylee was in her teenage years when he passed, because she had just started getting death benefits from him within like a year of him within a year of her death, from what I remember. And that is why Lori was charged with fraud when it comes to the Social Security, because she did not report either kid's death, because JJ was getting death benefits from Charles as well.
Okay. And what did Joseph pass away from?
He died of a heart attack, but there's
suspicious.
There's always conspiracy theories, so you know.
Was he cremated?
I don't remember.
Okay. All right. I think that was a lot.
Yeah.
Because I have questions. I have a feeling most of them get answered watching the trial and stuff.
Yeah, as far as like Charles is concerned, probably a lot of your questions will be answered. As far as like the kids and stuff, that doesn't come into either one of these trials, because Judge Boreski was very, very, very careful in not bringing in the Idaho stuff into these trials, because, and she almost did, like there were a couple of times, like I think, don't remember who was on the stand, but there were a couple of times where she pushed the boundaries about bringing in the Idaho stuff.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Well, I think let's go ahead and wrap it up for today.
Okay.
Because it's a lot to take in. Miss Scarlett is live right now, and so is Danny.
What?
Yeah, he went live. He went live like a half an hour after us, maybe an hour.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm not sure. He was watching the Kelsey stuff trial from today. So everyone could pretend to redirect to either one. But when you leave us, make sure you be little butterflies and pollinate everybody's YouTube algorithms. Yes, Miss Scarlett is on. That's where I'm heading, is to Miss Scarlett's. But I will see you guys, everybody in your chats, pollinate everybody's algorithm butterflies. And remember, go out with love and peace in your hearts. Love you. Signing off. Say bye to your friends.